My name's John Navin with West County EMS and Fire, and today we're going to cover some inward forcible entry using our forks. So this is more of a technique that's used in a lot of bigger cities where they're going to be running through a lot of residential doors or apartment doors that are somewhat flimsy. Like all doors, we try before we pry. We push at the top and bottom to see if we have any give or if there is any secondary locks. And then most of the time we start with our adz. In case we're running into a little bit of difficulty with that, we're going to practice our fork technique. That way we have that in the bank. So we would take, again, the bevel of the forks, which is that outer curve, towards our jamb so that we can curve around that door. And we would slide it in, and then we would hit our adz with our striking tool until we drove it around that door. Once we drove it around that door, we would capture our progress. We'd flip over our forks. That way the bevel is now towards the door so that the tool can wrap behind and the teeth of our forks are actually grabbing that door frame. So we want to get that in there just enough to where we grab the door frame. That way we're not decreasing our mechanical advantage by driving in too far. And then we would force the door on this outer end of the tool to, again, keep our mechanical advantage to open it up. With all of our other forcible entry techniques, we can take our axe, put it against the door, and push off of it to increase that gap. We could switch over to our forks and pry against it once we have a large enough gap, or we could use a wedge or other things such as that. Once this is open, if the door is still hung up on something, those are most likely just chains that we can drive straight off. And like all forcible entry, once we open our door, we want to control our flow path, but before we do, we want to drop low, look under that neutral plane, and do our live fire layout. Looking for victims, looking for the tunneling towards the fire or any light or any visibility of that fire, and then also get a layout of that room, of that floor plan. And then on our way out, sweep behind the door, sweep to the other side of the door, and then we're going to go ahead and shut it to control that flow path.